Welcome back, everybody, to more Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm Savage Hound Dusk, and we're about to have a boss fight in here. I hope you guys are ready for this. This is gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean I'm probably gonna get the living crap kicked out of me if the deaths that I had against that previous sequence were anything to go by. Not really going to be using grenades against this guy. I don't see a reason to use grenades against him. Actually, using grenades against him is very stupid.
Be careful.
Put that there. You want to save your gunpowder because you're probably going to want to be using the shotgun for the majority of this fight. Ow, my face! Ow. Ow. That hurt.
Cease your pointless struggling. Abandon your body to the will of our God.
You're a shitty missionary. You know that.
Oh, Almighty, grant me the strength to crush your enemies.
Son of a bitch. Ashley, run!
Okay.
Like, seriously, girl, get the fuck out of here. I'm about to do something really stupid. Hasta Luego.
God, I thank you for your gift.
You want to get ugly? Let's get ugly.
Alright, oh, Jesus, okay. I didn't think that he was going to be able to grab me that quickly. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Shit. Oh jeez, I'm fucking this up real bad. This is looking really terrible. I half expected that bomb to go off in my face, like, as I backed up. God damn it. A lot of this fight is trying to find a way to evade a lot of his really oppressive attacks. You can parry a lot of his moves, as I've demonstrated. You really don't want to parry too many of them. You will break your knife quick, fast, and in a hurry if you do that. As you can see, that shaved off a noticeable chunk of my knife durability there. And you want your knife durability to be available so you can do that. Trust me, dude, you haven't seen how stupid I can be. I'm stealing that. You can run away in order to dodge that, and indeed I advise you do so. There's not really anything you can do about that maneuver. Ow. That was just me being stupid. What's with all this name calling, dude? Wait.
Guess your tap dancing days are over. Back at you. Running out of options, huh?
Oh, shit. I used the large resource, so I actually can't craft any mines. And there he goes! I fucked that up real bad to start, but I pulled in and made it look good there at the end.
Leon!
What she does here is really dangerous and stupid. And that's why.
Leon! Quick! This place is coming down!
Give my regards to your god.
The only thing I'm missing out of here is a flash grenade, and I don't need it. Flash grenades are not nearly as useful in this game as you might think. They're not useless, but a lot of the value they had in the first game is kind of gone. They are still very, very helpful, as I displayed back in the cabin fight, though. Because back in the cabin fight, a flash grenade kind of saved my bacon.
Let's keep moving.
Leon, I'm not gonna turn into one of them, right?
I won't let that happen. I promise.
Pebbles, baby. She normally doesn't get much attention from me when I'm streaming. That's probably why. She's afraid I'm going to abandon her. Poor girl. For anybody wondering what that's about, we just got back from a week-long vacation away from the house. Our poor cats. They thought we had left them here forever. That's also why I wasn't streaming for the entire week. I don't have any streaming equipment at my mother's house. If I did, I probably would have streamed a few things, but honestly, I was just really focused on trying to relax and enjoy myself, and I didn't want to stream partially because of that.
What's going on?
Well, at least you don't have to worry about being followed.
Yeah, if I had enough shotgun shells, I could have... Oh, hey, Glory! Welcome back, my brother. How you doing today, my good man? If I had enough shotgun shells, the riot gun would have actually made that fight go way quicker. but I didn't use them specifically because, like, I ended up burning through too many. Because the shotgun is a really good solution to a lot of problems in this game.
Well, I wanted to go home, but Ashley just had to see this castle first. Where do we go? All right, Ashley.
He's such a jackass
just
in this
said.
game.
I got this. Yes, we better get going.
I don't hate Louise in this game by any stretch, but he is such a jackass in this game. I admit, I think he had a lot, his original actor and persona had a lot more charm than he does in this game. But I don't think that he's bad in this game at all. Actually, I like a lot more of what they've done with him.
Got some new wares, stranger. You're in for a treat. Welcome. I've got something new for you, mate.
The false eye used to actually have a purpose in the previous game. Now it's just a sellable.
A deal well struck.
Okay, now I can buy the Stingray rifle, the Blacktail. I can also buy the Broken Butterfly.
What you
We
see
can
is
also
what
buy
I've
large
got.
resource if we need it. We can also get a crafting recipe for Magnum ammo. These are two items that I am just straight up not going to buy in this game. I'm just going to say that now, because the Magnums in this game are terrible. I'm going to sell that pistol because I'm buying the
That's an
Blacktail.
exemplary firearm right there, stranger. Not the best, sure. But she'll make you an ideal companion.
Not the best firearm, sure, but she'll make you an ideal companion. Repair
That's
my
good
knife because
work,
it
if
broke.
I do say so myself. See how that feels, mate. Fella like yourself should notice the difference right away.
Go ahead
There
and
you
give it
are.
its ammo and reload
As
speed
you
bonuses straight up.
Will that be all?
It's
then?
not going to need rate of fire bonuses right now. We are going to immediately get the
All
castle treasure
kinds
map.
of trinkets. Don't get yourself
That's
killed
very,
now.
very, very important. I probably should not have reloaded my my handgun when I finished the first phase of Mendez boss fight, because it sells the ammo in the pistol as well as the pistol. I don't know if I'm going to go get the Stingray eventually or not. You don't need it. You can use the bolt-action rifle. Bolt-action rifle's pretty good. I do like how there's more sequences where you use the binoculars.
What is that? Guessing it's not for decoration.
I wonder if I could kill that guy from here. Nerd.
Okay, it's gotta be through that gate.
I mean,
Don't think
like, ideally I would have emptied the magazine of the gun and then not refilled it and then sold it, but
Crossbows.
in the middle of a boss fight, it's not smart
tells
to
me
not
they don't
leave
want
that
any
weapon
friends.
empty. Or any of your weapons, period.
Things just keep getting better.
Can I? I can hit that guy from here. I didn't think the game was going to let me.
Holy.
Cool. I don't know if that actually did anything, but I kind of hope that it did. Yeah, I'll take a look at that here real quick, Glory. Yeah, no, go ahead and do that if you want. Particularly if it makes it easier to just be able to relax and drive. That Marika picture. Alright, where is...
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oops. Alright. When you get a chance, then, I suppose. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Back to the focus here. You know what? I've got enough gunpowder to do the... No, actually, I don't think I should. So we missed one treasure back in the village. I won't be heading back to the village. The treasure that I missed, I couldn't get access to anyway because somehow I missed a small key. Oh, hey Pebbles. Hey, sweetheart. No, I did not abandon you. I did not abandon the kitty. You think I did, but I didn't. Dad, I don't want you to go away again. Please don't go away. Please don't go away. What did I do? You're fine, Hairball. It's fine. Oh my god. You think you are going to die. You poor Hairball. That isn't... I'm not gonna put up with that. That's what that was. And it also dropped a boot knife, which is basically a kitchen knife, but way better. In fact, I will actually go ahead and show you guys through an examination here. Power is 0.50, durability is 0.25, attack speed is 1.00. You examine this, power is 0.50, durability is 0.50, so it's got double the durability and it's got the same attack speed. This, oh, nope, don't send that to the typewriter storage, is power of 0.80, the durability is 1.50, so this is 3 boot knives effectively. And it has a slightly higher attack speed at 1.20 than either knife. So boot knives and such, boot knives and kitchen knives literally exist to be emergency knives if you have broken your main one. Or you can use them to build crossbow bolts, which is very typically what I do with them. So that's how the game introduces you to the worm. If you don't want to deal with those, like the tentacle head mutation, just throw a flash grenade and it will die. If you don't want to deal with it, but you don't have a flash grenade, then what you do is you pull out the riot gun and you wait for it to open its mouth and then you shoot it in the face. And you will probably want to make sure that that is how you deal with them as a rule. The only other weapon I would recommend using against them is the rifle, because the rifle and the shotgun are very good at stunning these enemies. And you, again, like, I will insist heavily, wait until it opens its mouth, which it will probably need to get close to you to do. And then go ahead and shoot it, because it will resist damage very, very heavily if you do otherwise. So you'll spend very little ammo if you wait till it opens its mouth and fire either the rifle or the shotgun directly into its open maw. In the original game, it wasn't actually that strategic to deal with, because you could just fire a couple of shots into its head, and it would take a lot of damage and die very quickly. A lot of enemies in this game had a weird tendency to just die that way. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to craft shotgun shells yet. Because my rifle is about to become my best friend. And that means I need some large resource. Hi. So... yeah, they have catapults. The game has set up a series of explosive barrels by all of these catapults. If you see the explosive barrel, shoot it. It will allow you to deal with the catapult.
Sorry, must have slipped.
Because it will blow the catapult apart and usually kill the crew that's standing right next to it. If the crew doesn't die, which I don't think I've ever had it not die, it really doesn't matter. You could just, you know,
I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome.
ignore them at that point because they don't have crossbows.
Shit!
What? Excuse me.
Leon!
Don't touch the girl. Asshole. I am actually going to craft handgun ammo. Oh, and I got the craft bonus too. Thank you, game.
I'm fine.
Thank you very kindly. Jesus. Like, I really needed that to happen there because I had no ammo. Oh, God. Ashley, please be careful. Okay. That one's down. Rifle bullets.
Watch out!
Jesus, it's got shit.
See? That's how you deal with those guys when you really don't want to deal with them. But you don't have the main gun.
Firing again. It's open. Go.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Somehow that did not kill Ashley. Suplex!
Ashley, are you all right?
Yeah, thanks. Nice shot.
Thanks. Yeah, you can just fire the cannon to hit 2 of the blue medallions in this area. And if you shoot the weight from up here like I did, you can avoid a massive sprint. Hello, Glory.
Hello. I don't know what it is with all of you. It's like, usually you take 30 minutes to an hour to get ready for a phone call. Every time I'm taking a shit, it's immediate.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it feels like for me, too.
Without fail, every time I'm like, alright, I'm almost ready, give me a second, immediately rage bomb, and it'll say shit. Like,
I didn't even know you were on the pot that time, I swear.
I don't ever say it. I'm just like, alright. And I said I'll call you whenever I'm on the road, and I wasn't on the road yet.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm just about to
Yeah. But yeah, what the game wants you to do instead of what I did, because what I did was I cleverly looked down and shot the weight that was keeping the cannon down there for everybody watching. What it wants you to do is what I'm doing now. Is it wanted you to? Oh, jeez. Okay, I'll just.
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. Apparently I can't hit that from here. That's really stupid. Alright, what it wants you to do is it wants you to hop down, shoot the weight, get the cannon up top. Then after you've hopped down, it wants you to run through here, run up that ladder, or climb this ladder, while you're dodging catapults so that inevitably you can come up here to this catapult's barrel and shoot it, blow that up, and then from this angle, if you think to look over there, you can see the other barrel that'll blow up the other catapult. And I blew up the first catapult because I saw the barrel closer. You're actually meant to have destroyed it from here. Not from all the way over where I did. So the game wanted to set up a really cool, frantic, run the fuck away set piece from things that are trying to blow you up as you desperately try to get back into position. What it ended up doing was not that. Because I figured out that there was a workaround.
The game wanted a Looney Tunes style chase sequence. You said, I don't understand. Kablam.
No, I said I cast gun, kablam, and then the problem went away. Because you can look down, and I showed it off earlier in the stream video, but you can look down there with your pistol aimed, aim at the weight that's holding the tank, or not the tank, the cannon down there, and then shoot it. And then after that, you can use it to blow away a couple of
Come on.
blue medallions if you don't want to spend ammo. And you can use it to then blow the remaining catapults to pieces instead of doing what the game wants you to do, which is have a Looney Tunes run away from the exploding rocks being lobbed at you sequence, while you dodge murderous cultists that all try to come out of the woodwork to kill your ass in the blind spots. And you could not do all of that just by virtue of firing your handgun.
People drive so goddamn slow in the fast lane. It is law in the state that if you are in the left lane, it is a passing lane. Get the fuck over. Sorry. It's just,
My mother and my grandmother can be very angry drivers at stupid people, too. And there are days when my patience for that shit is also non-existent, so I can't say too much.
yeah, it's not like it's a common courtesy. It's a law in this state. We're not like on a main. We're going through a town still. It's like implied you follow the law regardless. The left lane is for passing.
Yes, it is. There it is.
We also have a law here that you can't legally hit people when they're in the crosswalk. You can't have any fun.
You can't legally hit people in any fucking crosswalk in any state.
Technically you can, because if they're jaywalking and they walk out in front of you.
Nope, most states will actually default the driver to being at fault for not stopping and making sure that a pedestrian was not in the way. Pedestrians, from my experience with virtually every state, always have right of way, even when they're breaking the fucking law about where they're walking. which is bullshit, because you will still get tickets for that, and sometimes you can even go to jail for vehicular manslaughter. But it's not even that, because they ran out in front of you and didn't pay attention.
Come.
So much fun driving around Kansas and having to dodge all of the drunk people.
Are you in Kansas right now?
Campus.
Oh, campus. Okay. I didn't hear you correctly.
Nighttime after football games,
Any
everybody's
welcome.
going to the frat house.
Well then, what can I do you for? A deal well struck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good
Um,
work, if I do say so.
I'm not even gonna
See
pretend
how
that that's
feels, mate.
even remotely
Fella
fun.
like yourself
'Cause it's
should
not.
notice the difference right away.
Hello, Emery Creative. How you doing?
Anything
I ask you
else
please
pleasant,
read the
Trap?
chat rules before you continue, just so you are aware of every rule that I have, because I will time you out if you violate them even once.
I'll go in and I'll get their ass for you.
No, you're driving. I got this.
A most warm welcome to my castle. Such a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance,
Hello, Pebbles.
Mr. Kennedy.
He looks
Hell are you?
ridiculous.
Oh, please, call me Ramon, and allow me to get straight to the point. I would like you to hand the girl there over to me. Now.
Yeah, fat chance, Ramon. The girl's just fine. With me.
Wow.
Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Nonetheless, you see, the girl must be ours.
This guy is...
The girl has the very source, your United States, and then the entire world shall overflow with his grace. For that is the iron will of my master, the most holy, Lord Sadler. So then, you will comply.
Oh, we're just here to enjoy Resident Evil 4 Remake. That's what's up. We're having a good time.
Lady.
How unfortunate.
What you up to,
Do
Creative?
make sure our guest feels at home, now that he has chosen death.
Oh my God, Salazar's face. I never paid attention to his face the way that I think I should have. His face looks fucking horrific right there.
Just stay close. Next.
Oh shit, I forgot there was one behind. Oh God! Ow! Ah, I'm getting my ass kicked from all sides now. A thousand ways to die, and I made them all die by grenade.
Yeah. looks
That would have been stupid. I am not going to tell you where I'm from, Creative. And I'm going to tell you right now, Creative, if you're here to sell me anything right now, you can go ahead and leave. If you actually read my rules, you would know not to ask for information like that.
I'll ban him real quick.
Won't open.
Another thing you look at is that account is 11 days old, made on July 25th.
Yeah, that's part of what told me that it was probably a phishing account.
They'll piss off. You're not ever gonna end up getting rid of those people. They try everywhere.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you if I have made it a rule for you not to ask for information like that, and you come in here and then I tell you read the rules before you actually continue speaking, and then your next fucking question is a violation of my rules, I know two things. Either you're a bot, or you're trying to sell me something I don't want, and don't need, and don't care about.
Eventually, you'll have enough people in there just bullying them out of existence.
Yes, eventually.
Anyway, but I'll let them have a chance.
Eventually that is going to be the case, yes. And I try not to do that to people, but at the same time, like yesterday I had a guy who, like, I think that was my first viewer that genuinely wanted to just come in here and have a good time talking about the game and a couple of other games that he's been messing with. Because the guy wanted some advice on Elden Ring. He'd been getting his ass kicked by Renala, the Queen of the Full Moon. And to be fair, Renala can be a really hard boss if you don't really know what to deal with her. What to do when you deal with her. We had a good conversation. It was healthy. It was productive. That was really great, and I really enjoyed that. And I would like to have some more of those. And I understand there are people who want to sell me useful products out there that would help improve the channel genuinely. But those are skills that I think I'm going to pick up once this channel actually starts to make me some money. And I can pull myself back to part-time at my real job, where I will actually have time to do things like that.
But that's another thing. Nothing that could ever really start with an active production team and budget and all that.
No, it doesn't ever really start there. It...
I know it's not a great example, but Apple literally started in 2005.
Yeah, it did. Like the and if you believe
We can continue on.
the store that I work for's stories in history, Harbor Freight, I worked for that company full time in order to make money for a living. That company, they started with two guys who bought a storage unit from the pier, and they sold all the tools out of the garage and decided to turn that into a business. And then it grew into an actual hardware store.
I mean, it takes time. It's not going to be immediate.
Yes,
I
it's...
haven't seen any success on my end.
Well, I haven't seen much success on mine either. But that's why it needs to just, like, this is a hobby for me right now. This isn't going to be a business anytime soon, and I'm aware of that, and I'm okay with that. But it does get obnoxious when you tell people to read the fucking rules and they don't. At that point, you very quickly realize either you're not a person and it's a bot talking to me, or you're ignoring the rules on purpose because you don't care. If you don't care, then you're not here for why I'm here. And why I am here, the light is lost. Why I'm here is to have a good time. If you're not here to have a good time, get out. If you're here to enjoy the show, enjoy the show.
One thing I would say is interact with like they start being like that, and then don't give them the time to take it.
Yeah.
Can't see me.
Come in and they say, hey, don't even say you read the rules, because they
A lot of them, it feels like, are kind of programmed to leave very quickly if they don't get immediate notice. Or...
they're not a real person.
Yes.
So, I mean, just, you do you, play your game, and then interact up to the point that they start breaking your rules. And then,
Yeah. So this guy right here is the Garrador. Garrador is Spanish for man with claw. And there is a stealth way to attack him, as I'm displaying right now.
Gotcha.
He is a blind enemy. If you touch these chains, he will react. If you break any of these vases or wooden barriers here, he will react. If you are standing up, or if you are moving while you are too close to him, he will react. And when he reacts, those big-ass claws he's got will hack you into sashimi. You always want to be very careful about where you're standing in relation to where he's standing. If you run, he will notice you. Basically, the idea with this boss, even in the original game, was don't make noise. That idea has not changed in this game, and I think that the area that you fight him here is much more dynamic for that, and they're able to play to that a lot more. And I actually like the way they've done this. I feel like this is way more creative than the original game's design. This is one of many improvements that I feel like Resident Evil 4 Remake did. Yeah, he's dead now. I'm gonna wait for him to stop moving to be sure. Yeah, there he goes. He dropped an item. Think. The Garrador is just one of the coolest things to me about this this remake. He's gross and he's more painful to fight than he's ever been, but he's also way more dynamic than he used to be. And once he's dead... Now, you can actually not fight him, and if you're careful and clever enough, you can escape his ass while he's still alive. But, A, that's a lot riskier than it's worth, and B, you kind of don't want to do that, because he drops a treasure when he dies. I have many stupid answers.
It's you.
Nothing. You were right about the animals, though.
I just finished playing through the base game. I need to play through the DLC, and I just lost about $300 fucking on groceries. So the game that I wanted to pick up, I'm not gonna end up doing that either. That'll have to wait until. Yeah, but it's the Promise of a Flower DLC now. Because I need to unlock the upgrades and the weapons that are tied to those 3 missions. If he is actually going to join me, yes. If not, then we can play on the base game, and I can just start leveling up some of the other classes that I need to upgrade. Because trying to do Promise of a Flower by yourself is a goddamn nightmare. There's only one DLC that's paid. A lot of the other add-ons were all free. Anything that you have to pay for outside of Promise of a Flower is purely paying for cosmetics. And that's it. I think that was adding in extra game modes because I think they added in extra game modes, and that was a free update.
I thought it was like a big paid DLC with like all of the new, like the whole new campaign and stuff based around like Paradise.
Yeah, the Promise of a Flower, I think, is what you're thinking of there in that case, because Promise of a Flower, what you're fighting in that DLC is a mutated hive of xenomorphs that are transformed by the pathogen. I think so. Yeah, it's not an expensive DLC package. I know that. Yeah, Cold Iron was really good about being fair with the development of that game and stuff. So. I think they stopped because as great as it was, I don't think they felt like they were getting the financial returns that they needed, which I can kind of understand from a certain point of view. I don't really like that that's where they ended up taking that, but I understand, I guess. Bloody sword, golden sword, rusted sword, and iron sword. Okay, so I am going to go on a bit of a tangent here because a lot of people said they took out the puzzle involving the swords. They took out the puzzle involving the 4 portraits. First of all, the puzzle involving the 4 portraits in the original game, that puzzle was easy to beat because of the way it was designed. Secondly, there are 4 portraits here, and there are 4 swords that you need to use. The original puzzle involving the 2 swords was really easy to figure out. Just put the gold sword in the gold cast, and the platinum sword in the platinum cast, and you're fine. However, this is a organize the swords puzzle. You put the iron sword in here to represent the knight. You put the gold sword in here to represent his ascension and award. You put the bloodied sword in here to represent how he took it to war. And then you put the rusted sword here to represent how it was laid to rest with its master.
Huh. Guess you were right.
And yeah, like, this is a very simple puzzle to figure out as well, but I think they combined those 2 puzzles this way to make both of them a little bit more interesting than they ultimately ended up being in the base game. That's kind of why I disagree when a lot of people say, well, they took a lot of stuff out of it. No, actually, they changed how it worked, but the essence of those puzzles is still the same. They didn't really take it out, though.
Hang on. This is the same room as before, isn't it? Guess we just circled around.
Yeah, and I'll be real, the 2 puzzles that they combined to make that night puzzle that I just discussed, neither of them were interesting in the original game, and neither of them made much sense. I believe in remasters if the hardware can support it, because sometimes a product doesn't need to be remade in order to be fun. However, I also believe in remakes because what a remake can do is, and I feel like for the most part this game does what a remake should do, is a remake can take a title that was made with subpar technology for the vision you were originally going for, and it can expand on that title massively and actually make it good and make it interesting. Yes. Particularly if the original version had a lot of feedback that told you where gamers felt it was good versus where gamers felt it was shit. And you take that feedback and you really look at it and you're like, okay, well, what can I do to improve this? What can I do to make this good? What can I do to fix what a lot of people consider to be problems? Even if I didn't consider it to be a problem, obviously my player base did, or they wouldn't complain about it. And I think Capcom was very, very good about doing that for the most part here. There's obviously a couple of stumbling points. The biggest one for me is definitely what they did with Ada Wong. I really, really don't like what they did with Ada Wong in this game. Her design is plain Jane. It's over practical. Her voice actress was probably given a lot of direction to come off as extremely stoic and no nonsense. Really what she just came off as was emotionless, annoying, bitchy, not really interesting. And when she talks, she feels like she has no emotion whatsoever.
Hand over the girl.
Not this guy again.
I'm taking the liberty of preparing some entertainment.
Yes. And the problem that, like, the biggest problem that I feel like Aliens Fireteam Elite has is that it's a very fun game. It's a really cool multiplayer title. That game should have been 4-player co-op. It should have possibly even been 5-player co-op. Because there were a lot of classes available in that game. And they added on a bunch of free classes on top of that. And those classes were really cool and fun to watch and see and mess with. And there's a lot of class synergy. But the problem that I have with a lot of it is that 3 players is very limiting. And a lot of those classes are also very, very weapon restricted. Parasites and their Ecology Volume 2. There are some parasites that have the ability to control their hosts. This is basic knowledge among most biologists, but not much is known about how the parasites do it. The following is a list of several such parasites. And I apologize if I butcher the name of this particular parasite. Dicroclium or dicroclium. Once the larvae of this parasite migrate to the ant's esophagus, they alter the behavior of the ant, and when the temperature drops in the evening during peak grazing hours, the infected ant climbs to the top of a plant and clamps onto a leaf, using its mandible with the intention of being eaten. Galactosimum. A larva of this parasite will make their home inside the brain of a fish, such as the yellowtail and parrot bass. Once infected, the fish makes its way to the water's surface, where it will swim until eaten by seabirds. Leucochloridium. This parasite's sporocysts develop in the snail's eye stalks, where they pulsate like worms. They alter the snail's behavior and force it to move to the top of a plant to make it more visible to birds. When eaten by a bird, the parasite completes its metamorphosis into an adult. These are actual real-world parasites, by the way, for everyone watching, and that does actually happen. So that's not just made-up bullshit. That is actually... Yeah, nature's fucking terrifying. To quote the Time Warriors, which was the group that I watched do a really, really good Let's Play of Resident Evil 4 Original. And they also did a nice stream through of RE4 Remake. Nature's fucking scary.
Be careful.
And like that is incredibly horrifying. This room has been so heavily redesigned in ways that I find incredible. And I will say this, level design was peak with this remake. Level design was absolutely 100% glorious in this remake. They did not fuck up on level design. Some of the writing choices are a little bit more questionable.
The entertainment.
Leon, I love the way you talk. Excuse me. Excuse me. Asshole. Oh, for God's sake.
Hang in there.
I'll blow your fucking legs off, Johnny. I don't know how that... I don't know how that didn't kill Ashley, because that went right through her leg. That was kind of a dumb way to die. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright. So, yeah. When you come into this room, you actually will get swarmed. That swarm is kind of obnoxious. It's not the worst thing I've had to deal with, but it is kind of annoying. Submachine gun rounds actually sound really useful here.
Leon, they're here.
Ah, the entertainment.
Didn't want to have to spend that many shotgun shells on the problem, but didn't really get a choice.
Present for you.
Watch out!
Ashley? Assholes.
Out of the way.
Okay, he's dead.
They keep coming.
He's dead. Really?
Next. Sorry.
Oh,
Must have slipped.
shit.
Damn. I knew it.
I noticed that that guy's head went off, but he did not go down. Suplex! The legend of Leon's suplexes will never die. I mean, to be fair, lightning strikes can be kind of terrifying. No, I did not. I really should have while I was on vacation, and I did not. That's what I was told. My neighbor came by and he watched it while he was on vacation too, and he told me that I needed to see it.
You hurt?
I'm good. Thanks.
Wow. Yeah. No, yeah. Honestly, I loved Deadpool and Wolverine, and I really, really hope that Disney and Marvel take the hint that this is what their fans actually want, and this is what people actually want to see from their superhero movies, is superheroes actually being superheroes and doing things that they would be doing, because that's just not what a lot of these movies have been lately, and it's not what a lot of these movies have been about lately, and I am kind of tired of that, and I think everybody else is too.
Jesus, it's got teeth.
Yeah, I know. That was a pretty freaking good one too, I'm not gonna lie. It was thrown at Disney because Disney's been the one royally fucking everything up. They don't really have a lot of the money, power, and presence that they used to. B, it's Deadpool. He's gonna make fun of everything. Like, in the original Deadpool movie, one of the first fucking things he says is, it was made by an directed by an overpaid tool. Starring a CGI character, produced by asshats. Like, that movie made fun of half of its fucking directive crew. So Disney didn't really have a choice. That's just what Deadpool was always going to be about. And Disney has kind of become a walking mockery, as it is, of what it used to be. Disney used to just be about kids and creating timeless tales of magic, imagination, and fun. Because the original versions of virtually every story that Disney has touched are things that end horrifically, and in many cases very, very, like, dark and poorly. Yes. But we've also seen what happens when companies are given so much money and power that they kind of think that they're above reproach. And a lot of what I've seen from Disney lately is that Disney thinks that its politics should matter more than its entertainment factor. If you are an industry that is built on entertainment, and that's what Disney was, is they're an industry giant that was built on entertainment, then you should probably stick to that. If you want to try and be politically active for something that you view as, you know, a political progression, okay, I can understand that. There are places where you can be that way. Your movies, if they aren't documentaries, then that's not where your politics belongs. And a lot of their movies have just been very, very, very politically focused, and in my opinion, very politically egregious. Because people, and it's not just Disney, it feels like people in general lately do this. People just are so politically either controlled or megalomaniacal. I don't really know what the best word for what I am witnessing is.
I think we're seeing a big shift across the entertainment industry as a whole, movies, games, television, all that, is the bigger companies are doing things that annoy their fans to the point, right, so long to the point where fans are just giving up on these big studios.
Yeah. Yes.
This should do the trick.
I think so, and one thing that's also happened because of this is that a lot of companies have been paying people shit money for ridiculous amounts of hours and work that they used to put in. Like,
Out of the way.
I don't think that's the case. I think what really happened was yeah, and I could understand that, and I could believe that if what I'm seeing is that the economy was improving at the beginning of our and starting to get better near the beginning of our last presidency. Not that I want to turn that into some kind of political presidential debate, which president was doing what better, but the economy was improving before, and then the other president took over, and it felt like what that president did was, I have to counter every decision that was made and stop and stymie every decision that was made by the guy who came before me because he was from an opposing political party. And a lot of companies that were big name, they just decided I need to get political as fuck, and I don't know why. Yes. Yes, I think the economy... Yeah, and again, my channel's predominantly not meant to be a political channel, but if you want to look at why a lot of these companies are failing, why a lot of them are dying, they didn't overhire during fucking COVID. The economy has become a piece of shit, and nobody wants to admit it because the government basically told them, don't admit that. Because the government has actually been, from what I've seen, they've actually been going out and saying, no, we're not actually in a depression. We're not actually in a depression. Yeah, actually we are. The stock market's about to crash, if it hasn't already.
Right.
Like, stock and shares are not worth anything right now. They're worth basically dick in a lot of big companies where they used to be worth a lot of money. I just got shot. Where did I get shot from? Well, somebody shot me with a crossbow, and I don't know where from. Oh, there they are. There we go.
You okay?
Yep.
I'm fine.
Yeah, that scene from Starship Troopers was just one of the greatest things in cinema. Yeah, I feel like the big problem that we've had lately, though, with a lot of our entertainment industry is that, and this is happening a lot in video games too, I think people are getting over political. Like they're overcorrecting for a lot of decisions that people made for various reasons. Yeah, they think that this is some new trend, but the problem is that a lot of what they've been putting in these movies hasn't really been trending except as a controversy, and a negative one at that. I do feel like AI is definitely out of control, and I'm wondering if that doesn't have something to do with a lot of what's failing, because they're like so many companies are putting so much into AI. AI, I want to make this very clear. I am not entirely against the idea of AI. I see the positives that AI can produce. Yeah, AI definitely has its purpose as a useful tool. But I do think that a lot of over-reliance, and I mean gross over-reliance on AI, has in fact been happening. I don't think it's helping anybody because it's
Come on.
AI doesn't do things particularly well, even with AI-generated art. If you look carefully at a lot of AI-generated art, it's disproportionate in certain areas. It will look... Yeah, like, it just... Yes. And I can see that... I can even see how AI-generated art could be useful, because it could be. The AI-generated art can be useful for people who are not very artistic, and they could just use it to generate stuff for their business model that would be relatively generic. But the problem is that a lot of companies don't really do that, and a lot of people on the internet... Okay, how did that kill me, game? How did that kill me? I definitely had enough health to eat one more hit. A lot of AI-generated artwork and shit is clearly stealing somebody else's style. It's not trying to respect it. It's not trying to be decent to it. It's just parroting somebody else's work, and then after it takes it, they're like, oh, but the machine didn't know better. No, but you very clearly did. And the machine does what it's programmed to do. If you programmed it to take that person's artwork, then you definitely knew what the hell you were doing.
Come on.
Okay.
AI-generated art could be used
gonna be okay?
like decently. The problem is that you're right, Glory. Basically, the way it's being used as a tool for theft.
I'll cover you. Don't stop.
Yes.
Be careful. Next.
Yep. Yep.
Hang on. I've got you.
Yeah, an enemy's grappled her and I'm being attacked, so... Oh, I just blew that enemy's head off. Oh, that was clipping, game. I saw that. Oh, God.
Give me a break already.
I am, like, wasting a lot of rifle bullets here, and that's bad. Fuck off! Oh boy, I am gonna need a lot of rifle ammo to refill that weapon after this.
Okay, get back here.
Come on, girl, get down here.
Come on.
Get over here. Right in your throat, Jimbo. The worst part that I've seen with a lot of modern entertainment is a lot of people are so focused on remakes, they just want to... They want to try and capitalize on nostalgia because a lot of what they've tried to make that's quote-unquote original isn't good, because realistically speaking, a lot of what they've been making isn't even original. Like, Capcom hasn't been able to make a lot of good original products, so they've defaulted to remaking a lot of stuff. For the most part, their remakes hold up really well. The only remake they've made that I really don't like is Resident Evil 3 Remake. And the reason why I don't like that game is because it was basically Resident Evil 2.5. And I could beat that game in an afternoon. That feels incredibly lazy. I've never felt that the Monster Hunter franchise was doing poorly. I've always felt like it was fine. It's just not my type of game. That's why I don't play it very much.
Take a look at Capcom's franchises and look at their fighting game franchise. Which one are they?
Oh yeah, Street Fighter. They do the Street Fighter series. Oh god, yeah. No, Street Fighter has been doing poorly. I think that one's a Square Enix product. I know not just Soul Calibur though, but Tekken. Tekken has also been doing well, and I don't think Tekken is a Capcom product either.
Hey, you sure you're good?
Yeah.
Looks like the right place. You okay?
I think so.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about her, worry about your own skin. Gosh, little lamb. Temperance, child.
Ashley.
RE2 Remake was incredibly well received for the most part. People thought it was a great update. I think it was a great update because I've played RE2 Original. I played a lot of it. I played all the way through Leon's story mode. I played through over half of Claire's and then stopped. And this was back on original PS1 hardware. So I played the original fucking Resident Evil 2. And I think RE2 Remake is definitely a better game. People said you could alter the game by having certain characters pick up certain items in certain places, and that was taken out of the remake. Honestly, guys, the one thing that you can change is how much somebody's inventory is set up, and whether or not somebody gets an extra gun. And honestly, looking at the game, it's easy to tell who is supposed to get what. Because Leon does need the extra gun, he doesn't need the extra inventory space. He doesn't need the extra inventory space because at no point does Leon ever get so much ammo or so many different ammo types or item types in his inventory that he really needs that. Like, if he gets that, it turns his campaign into a breeze. It really does. Claire really doesn't need the extra machine gun because she needs the extra inventory space. And she needs the extra inventory space because her old inventory is full of lots, and I mean lots of different types of ammo. That poor woman needs that extra inventory space because she has 3 different types of grenades that she has to worry about for ammunition types. 3 different types of grenades, and each one of them takes up a different amount of inventory, and none of it stacks. on anything except for her grenade launcher. This is especially true in the fucking remake because her grenade launcher is a fire one round and you have to reload M79. In the original game, it's an M79, but its magazine capacity is like 30 rounds. So she can stack a whole bunch of that shit all in the same place. So that's, I mean, you know, basically what that tells you is Claire needs the extra inventory space, give Leon the extra gun. Because all Leon needs to be able to do is use his pistol and his shotgun for the majority of the game, and that machine gun gives him the extra ammo and firepower to get away with that and save ammo for his other weapons, and especially his Magnum. Which, if he can save up ammo for his Magnum, the endgame of the original is a breeze. He will mow those fucking bosses down so quick, it's not even funny.
Thank you. Easy work. Dazzled, are you? Our craftsmanship demands no. Try that on for size.
Ah. That,
Oh,
right.
my back is killing me. Years haven't been kind to us, I suppose. I'll buy almost well. I can certainly do something with this.
I'm looking forward to it because it does
All
look
my
pretty
wares
promising.
are in tip-top shape, I assure you. Will that come back any time?
Yeah, I don't understand why a lot of companies nowadays are trying really hard to pretend like cross-platform just isn't a thing or shouldn't be, because cross-platform is kind of essential nowadays. It really is, guys. Like, I don't know what else to tell you other than cross-platform is very essential. Yes.
Great, so welcome. What can I interest you in? Perfect. You're a real professional. Pleasant travels.
Yeah. Yes, and I had been considering that for a while because I know the PS5 is just, it's a pricey console. Even nowadays where it's starting to get a lot of discounts, and you could, even if you really wanted to, you could buy third party from a lot of the scalpers for super cheap because nobody bought their consoles and nobody wanted to. And the worst part is scalpers basically tried to say, well, I'm just trying to put food on the table for my families. How are you guys going to try and tell me I'm the villain? Well, because you're buying a console for what it's worth, and you're trying to sell them in bulk for twice what they're worth. That's how you're the villain. Like, it's that fucking simple. I shouldn't have to explain to people like that where they're wrong. Like, it really is that easy. Yes.
Gloria las plagas! Gloria las plagas!
Is he doing this?
Yeah, and it's kind of ridiculous. It's because PCs, like, and this is something that I will make note of to virtually every gamer out there, by the way. PCs are very expensive to save up for, but I bought a $1,500 PC like 3 or 4 years ago when I was working for Walmart. Or no, not even 3 or 4 years ago. This thing is like 10 years old at this point. It still plays a lot of the games that I need it to really well, really efficiently, and really effectively. PC also has the biggest gaming market. Like, in terms of the sheer volume of games you're going to get, PC easily has the biggest volume. Yes. It can do everything your console can do and more, and will easily do it better.
Sorry, must have slipped.
All right.
You're serious? What the hell is happening?
Damn it.
Next.
There you go. It kind of is. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have so many shotgun shells, you can just say shotgun, and that's the solution. Show me what? Oh, I don't know. I've seen the Punisher movies. The only one I haven't seen is the original with Dolph Lundgren. If you're talking about the one with The one with John Travolta and Thomas Jane?
No, in Deadpool Wolverine is Gambit. I was just like, it's real. I can kind of understand it. I know how to speak gibberish.
I believe it or not, there was never a point where I could not understand what Remy LeBeau was saying. Believe it or not.
I didn't really grow up around it. I just kind of speak idiot.
I speak idiot. Remy LeBeau is supposed to be from the Outback. That's where Gambit is supposed to be from. And for anybody wondering, yes, Gambit does cameo in that new movie, and it's pretty good. It's pretty fucking funny.
The only reason I knew who it was, like the character, was because I saw an interview.
Oh. That's literally what he is getting. He's getting the... Like, Falcon is not getting his own fucking movie. Falcon is getting made into Captain America. And... Yeah, and I am one of several people who was against Falcon getting the shield this early. Now, I want everybody to note that I uttered the phrase "getting the shield this early." Those last two words are very important to what I mean when I say that. I have nothing against a black guy running around with Captain America's shield. You want to know why? Because Falcon is the one who inevitably gets it in the comics. Do you want to know why, however, it was wrong for them to put that shield in his hands now? It's because it completely skips over Bucky Barnes and his arc as Captain America, honoring his brother, Steve Rogers. Because originally, Steve Rogers dies in the comic books because he's shot in the head and killed by crossbones.
That is one hell of a greeting.
And,
You don't seem surprised.
then Bucky picks up the shield and decides, I will never feel worthy holding this, but I'm gonna live up to Rogers' legacy. I knew him better than anyone. That man believed in me more than anybody else. I'm gonna take this shield and I'm gonna be Captain America. And then he dies eventually too, in the comics somehow, and the shield passes to Falcon, who chooses to honor both of them when he takes the shield. Falcon should not have had the shield this early because it skipped over Bucky Barnes and turned Bucky into a stupid-ass sidekick character. That's literally what it did.
Maybe you'll live to meet me again. And then I might get you that greeting you were looking for.
You think I'm gonna give up that easy?
So Falcon was supposed to get that shield, but
Right.
he should not have gotten it this early. There should have been a couple of movies about Bucky using the shield and being Captain America and taking that role and redeeming himself and then dying, and then Falcon should have had it.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of, like, there's whole, like, phase 4 plan matters, though. The dude's got himself arrested.
Last person I thought I'd run to here.
Who's gonna play Kang?
Oh yeah.
He got arrested, so, like, all of, like, their stuff just got derailed hard.
They hired that guy for his skin tone, and they said that, and they admitted that they hired him for his skin tone and not his acting talents. And then he went and did something stupid, got himself arrested, and then they have to completely rethink what the hell they're doing for Phase 4 because they don't want to replace the actor. Well, I'm sorry, but if the actor did something that put them in prison, and you might just want to replace him. And even if they didn't hire him that way, you know, for that reason, then okay, fine. I'm okay with that. I don't care. Actually, I'm glad that's not the reason, if that is in fact not the reason. Because I've been hearing a lot of acting talent and writing and directing talent getting hired for their political views or their skin tones lately, and not because they were actually cut out for the job. Yeah. The Broadway show Hamilton? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me, because I haven't seen anything about that.
That should do it.
Huh.
All right. Need to find Ashley.
Okay, I guess I should explain why I feel the way that I do about why certain characters getting race swapped doesn't really work. First of all, there's always the old argument, it's fiction, it shouldn't matter, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna rant for a second here about how that argument doesn't mean shit. And that argument is actually, I think, even more racist than you think it is. Number one, let's look at Castlevania Nocturne. I loved the original Castlevania animation because the original Castlevania animation was great. I had one problem with it, and it was Isaac. And I'm going to bring up why I have the problem with Isaac by explaining my problem with the female character Anna, or Annette, from Castlevania Nocturne. Who is Annette in Castlevania lore? That is Richter Belmont's fucking wife. Why does that matter? Well, why does her skin tone matter? Here's why it frickin' matters, okay? The original Annette was a young French woman of clear wealth and beauty. Like, if you've seen her original artwork, she's originally a French woman who was, I believe, part of the noble aristocracy. And I apologize for getting political or even pedantic about this, but god damn it, it matters to me, and it should matter to you. Her original background was of French origin and French nobility and aristocracy. To be fair, beyond that, she doesn't have that much characterized unless it's in certain comics and books that are on the expanded universe that I haven't read. 2, the Annette from Castlevania Nocturne is a black African woman with supernatural super sorceress powers. That's not the problem. The problem is that her ethnicity, her background, her culture, and personality are nothing alike to the original Annette. So, the only thing that ties the black Annette from Castlevania Nocturne to the original Annette in the original Castlevania lore and data, specifically, is her goddamn name! Her name is the only thing that actually ties that character to the original Annette. Why is that a problem? Well, if you're telling me that race swapping a character doesn't matter, but that's what they do to race swap the character is change her background, her culture, her ethnicity, whether or not she has supernatural powers of her own, and whether or not she actually has the same type of relationship she had with that character, then what you are telling me is that a character does not actually, like, characterization of a character doesn't matter. Just get the name right and no one can care. I'm sorry, but just getting the name right isn't making a character. A character's core concept in personality and behavior is what defines them. That's what makes a character good, bad, ugly, what have you. Okay?
Welcome.
So, now that we've established what an actual character is, and an actual characterization is.
I offer repair.
What is my problem with the Castlevania Nocturne incarnation of Annette?
Stranger.
The fact that that is not Annette. The only thing that that character has to tie her to the character and the mythos is the name. Everything else about her is not the same character. So by definition, you have taken a person, completely changed who they are, completely changed their background, completely changed their culture, and that completely alters the dynamic they're supposed to have with the person in question that they're dealing with. So, we have now established that this is not Annette. This is somebody else entirely. The problem that I had with Isaac is literally the same thing. Isaac in the original Castlevania is not Isaac. He behaves nothing like Isaac from the original Castlevania. And you want to know why he behaves nothing like him? Because he's not fucking Transylvanian. The original Isaac was Wallachian. He was Transylvanian. So you are now telling me that it doesn't matter that that isn't actually Isaac. It just matters that he has Isaac's name. No, that's not how that works. If that guy doesn't have his culture and doesn't have his personality, then what you've told me is that's not him. That's literally not him. You've just completely changed who he is because you can. And then you want to tell me that it's fiction, so it doesn't matter. That argument holds zero water if you're trying to tell me that this is supposed to be the same guy from the fucking video game. Now, I hate to throw a fit about that, but everybody wants to try and act like, oh, well, you're just pissed off because he's a different skin color. No, I'm pissed off because that wasn't him. Like, the only other major complaint that I had about that animation, the original Castlevania animation, not even Nocturne. Nocturne I had a million problems with because Nocturne wasn't even fucking respectful to Castlevania. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. The other problem I had was that, Hector was a pacifist pansy pushover in the entire show. And Hector, according to what we are told in the Castlevania Curse of Darkness video game, where we play as Hector, is that not only was he the more powerful warrior between the two, which is very clearly not what we see in the animation, he was also the smarter and more capable of the two. We also don't see that in this animation. Neither of these things happen in this show. Hector is basically some vampire bitch's whipping boy for the entirety of the time he is on camera. As screwed up as that sounds, that's literally it. And he is shown to be smart and clever because he does manage to outwit her. But Hector doesn't just outwit his problems, he's also an incredibly powerful magic user. And he's an incredibly adept and capable warrior. He's not just some desperate, stupid candy ass. So that wasn't really Hector that you saw if the animation's the only thing you've watched, either. Like, he looked like Hector. He didn't sound like Hector because he wasn't voiced by Crispin Freeman. But he sure as hell did not behave like Hector. Now, I will say this. That was kind of an interesting path to take Hector, because I've never seen him play a more pacifistic role before. But by the same token, that's also not his core character ethos, so why did you do that? My top 5 Jokers, for me, I only have 3 Jokers that I ever thought were really good at the job. And those were Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, and there's one other. God, what was his name? Heath Ledger and Mark Hamill are like the number ones. For me, Mark Hamill is the number one Joker. Heath Ledger's number two. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix was the other top Joker. And then... Yeah, and then... God... John DiMaggio, who is most notably famous for being Waka in Final Fantasy X and Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War, he also played a really good Joker in the Batman Under the Red Hood movie. He was a very good Joker for that movie. I don't know the name of any other actors that have played Joker and actually managed to make Joker feel iconic or even make it feel like true Joker to me. Nobody else has managed to do it. I apologize for like how bad that rant was, because oh my god, that rant was ultimately pretty pedantic, I'll admit. But god damn it, I'm so tired of people trying to say that we should start race swapping characters because it's inclusive. No, it's not inclusive. Actually, it's insulting. And it's insulting because what I'm hearing to me is you are looking at everybody's skin tone and that's all you're seeing. You're not looking at the compelling performances. You're not looking at the talent that's being put to work here. You're not actually looking at, you know, what matters. You're looking at somebody's skin tone. And I was taught all my life, don't see people by their skin tone. Well, here's the thing. Everything I described about what was wrong with Isaac and Annette had nothing to do with their skin tone. It had to do from what corner of the world they were supposed to be from, and what corner of the world they ended up being when they were interpreted in a different light. Like, nothing about their skin tone was the problem. What was the problem for me was that their culture was completely different. And it was completely different from who they originally were and who they were originally supposed to be. And again, I understand you got to be able to take some creative liberties somewhere. Damn, I blew that guy's arm off. Well, that shield didn't exactly protect you, now did it? But there's taking creative liberties, and then there's just totally changing the character from everything that made that character have any sort of intrigue or personality. And what they did with Isaac was they completely changed him. Ow. They didn't, you know, like, he didn't even he started to have moments where he looked like he was going down a similar path to his original incarnation, but then he just doesn't. As for Joker, like, the core ethos to Joker for me, he is a megalomaniacal, chaotic lunatic who is all about absolute chaos and trying to force Batman to be completely chaotic as well. And I'm gonna stop ranting about that shit for a second here so I can talk about this moment, because this is awesome. This game never truly loses its survival horror aesthetic and aspect, but there are instances where it clearly wants you to run and gun. This is one of them. This giant armored troll, basically, that's attacking you. My very first thought when this happened was, when the hell did I start playing Lord of the Rings? Oh, by the way, the rocks that he's throwing cannon will totally kill the guys around him. Or around you, too. Like, those boulders are not just dangerous to you, they are dangerous to everybody. Yeah, for me, what made Heath Ledger's Joker amazing, I suppose I should go into that so that I can actually keep myself distracted from a negative topic that I really shouldn't be getting into anyway when this channel is not about that kind of thing. So I apologize to everybody. This stream should not have devolved into that, but there's a reason that I feel the way I do, and it's not just hey, I want to try and tell everybody this is how you have to feel. Like, this is how I feel, and this is how a lot of other people have been trying to explain how they feel about the subject, and everybody just chalks it up to, well, all you're looking at is the skin tone. No, that's all you're looking at, and we're tired of it. What made Mark Hamill's Joker for me is he was the first actor ever that I have ever seen to define the character outside of the comics and try to tailor him to his actual comic book mythos while still giving it his own sense of style and flavor. Yeah, exactly. But I'm not crazy enough to take on the IRS. And with Heath Ledger, the thing about Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy that I've always felt holds true, even to this day, is Christopher Nolan is, what if Batman was more down to earth and real believable life? Because that's you know, obviously there's a lot of comic bookiness to the Christopher Nolan Batman, but a lot of Christopher Nolan's Batman is very, like, I could kind of see that happening. There's obviously moments where you gotta suspend your disbelief, obviously, but a lot of Christopher Nolan Batman is very much, I can kind of see that happening. I can kind of see that being a thing. And he brought Joker to life in a way that didn't feel like a cartoon character. That's what I think Heath Ledger did. And it made all of the worst aspects of Joker come to life in a way that perfectly suited the comic books to me. I was just ranting about Joker and not even paying full attention. Like, I just parried a hatchet that crazy ass cultist just threw at me. Like a goddamn, yeah, that was, may Heath Ledger forever rest in peace. And I understand, like, why that role hurt you so bad. I do, because playing the Joker is all about playing a man who has absolutely no regard, respect, or care for human life. Yes. Yes. And, right in the freaking head. That's always where that thing will hit that particular, troll, by the way. It will always hit him directly in the face. Get fucked. Get trashed. I don't like doors.
Alright. Open for traffic.
Yeah! Like, this was one of the coolest segments ever in this game, and I'm tempted to create a version of it with my commentary and without, so that people can actually enjoy the action sequence without having to listen to me rant about stuff that has literally nothing to do with Resident Evil 4. Which is bad, because I was actually doing a fairly decent job of keeping us relatively on topic, and then it's okay. Sometimes shit like that happens, and honestly, sooner or later, somebody's going to find out that I don't exactly agree with a lot of these dumbass policies that people have been pushing. Yes, I have a right to an opinion, and people have absolutely have a right to disagree with my opinion. But I feel like the best way to not actually have a world where everybody has to walk on eggshells around everybody else who has a slightly different shaped face, who has a different skin tone, who has a different culture. You have to stop fucking looking at that kind of shit like it's a problem. And in many cases, you might even just want to stop looking at it at all. Like, people's cultures matter, obviously. Particularly if their culture is different from your own. It matters. It matters because it's a part of who that person is. Your skin tone is not a part of who you are. Your skin tone is something you're born with. How people treat you based on that, that can be a part of who you are. But if I treat you like a goddamn human being and I don't like, and I act like your skin tone does not make any difference between you and me, because realistically it doesn't, then I feel like that should be what you would want to aim for, because that's what's been helping society feel better. And we were so close to it until about some point in the early to mid 2000s. And then all this racial crap just exploded. And now it's all anybody fucking talks about in the media. Like, Hollywood has produced dozens of shitty movies and TV shows over the last 5 to 10 years. To the point where nobody's investing in movies anymore. To the point where people thought it was a miracle that Deadpool and Wolverine sold. Guys, if you make movies that focus on bringing these heroes to life instead of making everybody look at people's skin tones and genders, you might actually make a good product.
Forward. We will beat this. Together.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
You can.
Yeah. The thing about Deadpool and Wolverine
Just
is
give me
that
heads up.
movie managed to
Please
make,
stab me next time, okay?
I think, almost as much money on his opening weekend as Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
And Deadpool and Wolverine is an R-rated movie. Avengers Endgame was PG. Why does that matter? It matters because it... Yeah, and it matters because... And some people may ask, well, what the fuck does that mean? Why does that matter? It matters because that movie had a restricted audience. Only adults could go see Deadpool and Wolverine. And almost as many adults went to go watch that movie as people who went to watch Avengers Endgame. Almost every... Yeah. So almost every single movie that was made after Endgame has failed financially. And a lot of what Hollywood has been putting out on the internet, and don't take my word for it, I want you to not think that I'm trying to tell you something that I want you to believe personally. I want you to be able to see it. Don't take my fucking word for it. Go look up a lot of the modern Hollywood big journo pages. A lot of these Hollywood directors and shit keep saying when people don't spend money on these movies is everybody's racist, everybody's sexist, or everybody's homophobic. They don't talk about how this movie just didn't fucking do well because it had bad writing, or because a lot of the acting cast were going out on the internet and espousing really, really heinous shit. Like when Star Wars Acolyte failed, what did everybody say? They said it was because people were racist. I watched like 4 episodes of Acolyte. It had no concept of the passage of time. It had no concept of building characters, introducing characters, keeping characters' motivations consistent, keeping the plot consistent. It was just random twisted bullshit thrown in that felt like somebody wrote a fan fiction for what they thought Star Wars should be, and then tried to say to everybody, look at how glorious what I made is, when, because it's a fan fiction and you don't have any editors to properly check your work, you just made a piece of crap. And it was probably a rough draft.
So, you kind of looked at that and I think his name is Sam Whitaker. I think that's his name.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's just played them all, and he's like the big star. Star Wars nerd that's like pretty much safe to the franchise.
Yes.
He said you can go back and since we finished the Clone Wars, you can go back and watch the Clone Wars and see the full story that George was trying to tell with the prequels.
Yes. And the prequels do have problems. I'm going to say this now. The Star Wars prequel trilogy, it had problems. But the sequel trilogy had way more issues, because the sequel trilogy, and tons of people just don't frickin' listen to you when you bring this up. The sequel trilogy invalidated the prequels and the originals because it brings back Palpatine. And Rey, everybody likes to say that Rey Palpatine, I refuse to call her Skywalker. She has not earned that name. Rey Palpatine is a Mary Sue. Well, she kind of is, because everybody before her in every single movie and book that had to wield the Force to the degree that she does had to train with the use of it for decades. Or in Luke Skywalker's case, he had to get a crash course, and throughout the entirety of the original trilogy, you notice Luke doesn't ever really do anything particularly spectacular with the Force. He does a couple of basic things with it. There's a reason for that. It's because Luke didn't have a proper mentor to mentor him through all of the advanced nuances of the Force. What's up, Chris Thor? Yeah, like, the biggest problem that I have with Rey Skywalker is Rey Skywalker's problem is that, or Rey Palpatine, she masters a lot of Force powers way too quickly. Luke didn't master him that fast. Anakin didn't master it that fast. They were supposed to be way more powerful than she was. It was just kind of dumb. I'm alright, Chris Thor. How you doing? I am finally at the end of the stream. We've reached the end of the chapter. I'm going to end this rant by saying I hope everybody has a good day. And honestly, with the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, I hope that Disney and Marvel take a really good look at what they're doing. Because that was how you make a superhero movie. You make it with those heroes just doing hero things and letting them be heroes. You don't do that by attacking everybody in the world and bitching that you know, we have to include people of specific ethnic diversities. I think they would rather you included them with their talent. Like, include them because they're actually skilled and they deserve to be here. Don't just try and say, well, we've got to have this person here. Then they're just the token that guy or the token that girl. They don't actually have a place there. You just forced one. Pick the best person for the job. Like with the Batman, Robert Pattinson's the Batman. The Black James Gordon, I didn't even realize that was who James Gordon was, largely because the movie had instances where it was dull and boring. But when I looked back up and I heard him doing the voice that they wanted for him, and I saw the way he was acting and behaving, I was like, holy shit, this is a really good Gordon. This is a really good freaking Gordon. Like, if I hadn't looked at the screen, I wouldn't have known they chose a black guy for Gordon. And that's cool. Yeah, and I liked it, and I even liked what they did with Selena Kyle, and she was Ray Swap too. But that's a case of the movie, I felt like you picked the right person for the job.
But it was 3 fucking hours long.
That's the problem that Robert Pattinson's The Batman had. That movie was way too long, and I think it tried to do way too much all at once. Also, the Batmobile that he had looked like it was, that Batmobile looked like it was basically a monster truck that had been converted over. And it felt kind of stupid. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I apologize that this kind of devolved into something like it was almost a political rant. But there's a reason I hate all of the politicking taking over everything. It's because some things are just supposed to be entertainment and should just be entertainment. And I don't feel that it's wrong to say that. I feel that it's wrong to pretend like that's not the case. Have a great day, everybody. I've been Savage Hound Dusk.